Used to be that we got these biopics once in a blue moon, but I'd be fooling myself if I didn't admit we get these foolish things all the time now. Movies like Ray or Walk the Line are all fine and mellow, but we've seen it all before, haven't we? I'll get by, don't get me wrong, and I'll tell you why, because once in a while we get a movie like this Billie Holiday one, which once again makes me fall in love with the subgenre. And I truly believe that, all of me, body and soul. They can't take that away from me. P.S. If you didn't get any of those references, you better go now, because you let me down. Welcome to Real School, the Canadian perspective on a major studio piece that was probably shot in Canada anyways. I'm your host, Michael Lady Day Johnson, and today I will be reviewing The United States versus Billie Holiday. As you're watching, if you're enjoying the video, please give it a like and consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. You know, sometimes I am really glad when I get the opportunity to review a film that otherwise typically I wouldn't even see. Now that has a lot to do with the fact that I can't stream Hulu without a VPN here in Canada, but there are other reasons. The last time I saw a Lee Daniels film, it was The Butler, which has an interesting enough premise, but ultimately I just felt was one note. I wasn't overly impressed with his direction, nor have I really been impressed with his direction in most of his previous films. That, however, changed with The US versus BH, and the other thing going against him was here, once again, we had a concept that has been done before. And I'm not just talking about an iconic musician battling narcotics like we've seen over and over. I'm talking about the fact that we've already seen a Billie Holiday film. In fact, there's this little ironic tidbit that Evan Ross, the son of Diana Ross, is in The US versus Billie Holiday. And the fact is, his mom played Billie Holiday in Lady Sings the Blues. It all comes together, I guess. But really, it leads to one question. Why retell Billie Holiday's story again? Because the not so easy answer is, in my opinion, this isn't really about Billie Holiday. And don't get me wrong, there would be no US versus BH without BH. She is central to this film, but not the most important part of this film. And the fact is, the actor playing Billie Holiday, Andra, is phenomenal in this role. Just inserts any adjective you can think of to describe how brilliant her performance is. It's quite frankly something that I don't want to get into too much detail about because really the performance just deserves to be seen. And you can see everything that Andra wants to convey when she's playing Billie Holiday. The pain, the suffering that Billie went through, even the shame she feels sometimes, the pride, the lust. It's just so beautifully written in her performance. It's so easily accessible that Andra went to Lady Day so easily in this movie. She is for the win. And without Lady Day, we wouldn't have what really made this movie. It's a sad truth that today, still in this day and age, that powerful white men are intimidated by anybody who dare challenges the status quo of North American or Western society. And recently, in America, that has been women of color. They have really stepped up. They have made their voices heard. And that scares a lot of guys who look like me. And here we have almost an 80-year story where Billie Holiday caused an unfair witch hunt, basically because she sang Strange Fruit, a song which ultimately was just asking for black people not to be lynched. And yet powerful white men like Harry Anslinger, who was the head of the Federal Department of Narcotics, saw that as a threat. My one big critique has to do with the portrayal of Anslinger, because it was very clear what they were going for in terms of the subtext. It's not even really subtext, it's text. Anslinger was racist. And the sad thing is, he was actually praised by several presidents who we praise as a society, giving us yet another little topical bit where we've recently really started to re-examine who we revere. So I question why Anslinger, played by Tron Legacy's Garrett Hedlund, was played melodramatically. We lost some of the effect of the argument because there was no real truth to the performance. He was like a cartoon supervillain wringing his hands at the thought of bringing down Billie Holiday, and I just felt it didn't fit. I mean, maybe it's true historically. Maybe he was actually like that, but the character on screen just didn't fit with the tone of anybody else. And with this film, unlike other Lee Daniels films, I really felt that the director had everybody on the same page, other than Hedlund. Now, it's fortunate that those pages were written by Suzan-Lori Parks, who was the first black woman to win a Pulitzer for her playwriting. So that kind of lucks out and really makes things easy on a lot of people. A director who's got everybody on the same page and brilliant writing. The film shows us so much. It shows us that things really haven't changed all that much. It shows us that we do need to re-examine our heroes, that we have to recognize the real ones, that we have to ensure that those voices that are in pain are heard, and that they don't have to step over their own culture, their own people, in order to be heard and recognized. Yes, this film does all of that. You put it together, and surprisingly, this movie isn't earn it. Poll question, more like a trivia question. How many Billie Holiday songs did I reference at the beginning of this video? As always, be sure to leave a comment in the aptly named comment section below. But until next time, school's out. Hey Real students, thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe to Real School, click that round Real School logo right beside me. Also click that damn notification bell so you're aware of all of Real School's new content. You can follow me on Twitter, and of course, if you get anything out of Real School, you can always give a little back. Just click the link in the description below or the button down there, and you can become part of my Patreon team.